Ilara, an astrophysicist whose brilliance was only matched by her cynicism, moved through the sterile silence of the observatory, the hum of sophisticated machinery, a familiar lullaby. Her world was governed by equations, by irrefutable data, by the predictable dance of celestial mechanics. Fate, to her, was a convenient fiction, a comforting lie people told themselves when faced with the harsh, illogical realities of existence. This conviction was not born from academic pursuit alone. It was forged in the crucible of a past family tragedy, an event she relentlessly sought to explain through the cold, impartial lens of science, convinced that every apparent randomness possessed a hidden logical predecessor. She meticulously charted stellar movements, seeking the patterns, the cosmic gears that surely explained everything. Miles away, bathed in the soft, flickering glow of multiple monitors, Kyle, an occult astrologer of magnetic charisma, held court for his legions of online followers. His voice, a soothing balm of ancient wisdom, spoke of cosmic alignments, planetary influences, and the profound, undeniable threads of destiny weaving through human lives. For Kyle, the universe was a living tapestry, its patterns revealing themselves not through numbers alone, but through intuition, symbolism, and the whispers of forgotten prophecies. His channel, a vibrant hub of esoteric discussion, thrived on the very mysteries Ilara sought to dismantle. Their worlds collided with the force of a supernova. Ilara, during a live television interview, meticulously dissected Kyle's latest astrological prediction, reducing his intricate cosmic charts to a series of statistical anomalies and confirmation biases. Her sharp analytical takedown, broadcast to millions, ignited a viral debate, pitting science against mysticism, logic against intuition. Kyle, unflustered, responded with an enigmatic smile and a counter-prediction. Ilara, despite her fervent disbelief, would soon find herself drawn into the very cosmic dance she so vehemently denied. Ilara initially dismissed his words as performative theatrics. Yet, an unsettling curiosity began to gnaw at her. Kyle's predictions, while couched in mystical language, possessed an unnerving accuracy, particularly concerning seemingly inexplicable personal events that began to unfold around her. A sudden, unexpected grant approval for a niche research project she'd almost abandoned, a forgotten childhood heirloom mysteriously reappearing, a recurring, vivid dream that felt inexplicably significant. Each event, minor in isolation, began to form a disquieting mosaic, subtly challenging her rigid scientific framework. One evening, a cryptic message arrived in her inbox, an invitation from Kyle himself. Intrigued, and perhaps a little unsettled, she agreed to meet. In the hushed sanctity of his research space, surrounded by ancient texts and glowing crystal grids, Kyle revealed a shared secret, a cosmic anomaly he had been tracking for years. A rare, powerful celestial alignment he called the conjunction of shadows. He believed it was a cosmic fulcrum, a moment of immense energetic flux destined to reshape the lives of specific individuals, and chillingly, he asserted Ilara was one of them. Then, Kyle unveiled an ancient, unsettling astrological prophecy tied to this conjunction. It spoke of a fated, inescapable bond between two souls, one destined for greatness, the other for ruin, their destinies irrevocably intertwined by the celestial event. Ilara scoffed, her scientific mind recoiling from the sheer superstition of it all. Yet, the series of strange coincidences, coupled with Kyle's unnerving precision in describing aspects of her own life he could not possibly have known, began to chip away at her resolve. Her unease deepened with every word. Finally, Kyle's gaze met hers, holding a profound, almost sorrowful intensity. He revealed the most shocking detail. The prophecy, he claimed, pointed directly to their families, hinting at a past connection, a betrayal, and an ancestral secret that had woven their destinies together across generations. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Ilara stood frozen, the weight of Kyle's revelation pressing down on her, twisting the familiar contours of her scientific worldview into an unrecognizable, unsettling landscape. The idea that her family's tragedy, the bedrock of her cynicism, might be a direct echo of an ancient, cosmic betrayal was a corrosive thought, a challenge to every logical principle she held dear. Yet, Kale's earnest gaze, devoid of triumph or malice, spoke of a deep, almost painful conviction. The strange coincidences, the unsettling accuracy of his predictions, the sheer emotional force of his words, they coalesced into an undeniable pressure. Against her scientific instincts, against every fiber of her being that screamed superstition, Ilara found herself agreeing to collaborate. She would use her rigorous scientific methods, her astrophysicist's precision, to dissect his ancient texts and astrological calculations, determined to either debunk his claims definitively or terrifyingly uncover a truth far stranger than fiction. Their partnership began tentatively, a wary dance between two opposing philosophies. Ilara, armed with her databases and analytical software, delved into the historical records Kale provided, translating archaic astronomical references, cross-referencing celestial charts with historical events. Kale, in turn, immersed himself in Ilara's scientific papers, seeking parallels between quantum entanglement and cosmic interconnectedness, between gravitational pulls and unseen energetic influences. As days bled into weeks, spent hunched over ancient scrolls and glowing screens, their initial animosity began to soften. Debates, once sharp and confrontational, evolved into passionate exchanges of ideas, each challenging the other, each expanding the boundaries of their respective understandings. A complex tapestry of intellectual respect began to form, woven with threads of unspoken attraction that pulsed beneath the surface of their shared quest. Their relentless investigation led them down forgotten historical pathways, through dusty archives and cryptic family journals long dismissed as eccentric ramblings. The truth, when it finally emerged, was a chilling confirmation of Kale's prophecy. They uncovered irrefutable evidence of a hidden, tragic relationship between their ancestors, a forbidden love blossoming under the shadow of an earlier conjunction of shadows. These were not mere star-crossed lovers. Their bond was intertwined with a powerful secret, an esoteric artifact whose existence was guarded by a clandestine order and a devastating betrayal that had resulted in untold suffering. Ilara's family journals, meticulously preserved but never fully understood, spoke in veiled terms of a sudden, inexplicable loss, a void that had echoed through generations. Now, with Kale's guidance, she could finally decipher the coded lamentations, revealing that her family's tragedy had not been a random act of fate, but a direct, brutal consequence of this ancestral betrayal, orchestrated to protect the very artifact now sought by the shadowy organization. The weight of this discovery settled heavily upon Kyle. The prophecy, he realized with a growing dread, was not merely an abstract cosmic warning. It was a living, breathing saga that had ensnared his own lineage in its intricate web. His family, too, bore the scars of this ancient secret, a generational curse passed down through whispers and premonitions. He was not just an observer. He was a key player, destined either to repeat the cycle of betrayal and ruin, or to break it, once and for all. The personal stakes for both of them had become terrifyingly real. As the current conjunction of shadows drew closer, its celestial energies intensified, manifesting in strange, inexplicable phenomena. The air around them crackled with an almost palpable tension. Lights flickered erratically in Ilara's lab. Ancient symbols on Kyle's texts seemed to glow faintly, and their dreams became vivid, shared landscapes of cosmic forces and ancestral memories. This heightened atmosphere amplified their emotional and physical connection, drawing them closer, blurring the lines between intellectual partnership and something far deeper, far more profound. Then, a new player emerged from the shadows. A powerful, clandestine organization, the very guardians of the ancient artifact, made their presence known. They had been watching, waiting, and now, sensing the approaching conjunction and the awakening of the ancestral energies, they began to move. Their agents, shadowy figures with unsettling knowledge of both Ilara's scientific work and Kale's astrological insights, attempted to manipulate them, subtly at first, then with increasing pressure, intending to force them to fulfill the prophecy in their favor, to harness the artifact's power for their own ends. In a tense, whispered exchange, Kyle revealed the final, most crucial piece of the puzzle. The prophecy, he explained, had a dual interpretation. One path, the one the shadowy organization sought to exploit, led to destruction, suffering, and the perpetuation of the ancestral curse. The other, however, held the promise of redemption, of unparalleled power, not for dominance, but for healing and balance. But this redemptive path, he warned, could only be unlocked if they truly united, not just as allies, but as two halves of a greater whole, their disparate worlds finally merging. The conjunction of shadows reached its terrifying zenith. The sky above them, usually a canvas of predictable stars, now pulsed with an unsettling, otherworldly glow, reflecting the immense cosmic forces at play. Ilara and Kyle found themselves cornered within the ancient forgotten chamber where the artifact, humming with nascent power, lay dormant. The shadowy organization, their faces obscured by the dim, flickering light, emerged from the periphery, their voices cold and demanding. They spoke of ancient pacts, of dominion, and of the artifact's true purpose, a weapon to reshape reality. They demanded the artifact, threatening to unleash the destructive aspect of the prophecy if Ilara and Kale refused to comply, to force their hands into a predetermined, calamitous fate. A cold dread gripped Ilara, but a new resolve, forged in the crucible of their shared discoveries, hardened her gaze. She understood the celestial mechanics at play, the precise gravitational and energetic vectors that would be amplified by the conjunction. Kyle, his intuition blazing, sensed the subtle shifts in the cosmic currents, the hidden pathways within the prophecy that the organization, in their greed for power, had overlooked. This was the moment of choice, the culmination of centuries of intertwined destinies. They could yield to the organization, allowing the destructive path to unfold, gaining a semblance of individual power, but forever perpetuating the ancestral curse, condemning generations to come. Or they could embrace the path of redemption, a route demanding profound sacrifice, absolute unity, and a leap of faith into the unknown. Ilara's mind raced, her scientific training now seamlessly integrated with the mystical insights Kale had imparted. She saw the patterns, the subtle distortions in the energy field that the organization planned to exploit. Simultaneously, Kyle, guided by an ancient, almost genetic memory, revealed a hidden aspect of the prophecy, a counter-alignment, a specific sequence of celestial influences that could be harnessed to nullify the destructive energies. It was a risky maneuver, demanding precise timing and an almost impossible synchronization of their disparate skills. Their eyes met, a silent acknowledgement passing between them. The choice was clear. With a shared breath, they moved. Ilara, her fingers flying across a makeshift console she had assembled from scavenged parts, began to recalibrate the chamber's energy conduits, redirecting the raw celestial power according to her precise calculations. She used her scientific knowledge to anticipate the organization's every move, predicting their attempts to disrupt her work, creating diversions, and employing subtle energy countermeasures that baffled their technologically advanced equipment. Meanwhile, Kyle, his body acting as a conduit, began to chant, his voice resonating with ancient power. He didn't merely recite, he became. The prophecy, guiding the raw cosmic energy through intricate astrological pathways, aligning it with Ilara's scientific manipulations. He revealed the hidden aspect of the prophecy not through words, but by channeling the energy itself, twisting the destructive currents back upon the shadowy organization, nullifying their control over the artifact. The artifact hummed, not with malevolent power, but with a pure, resonant light, the ancestral curse shattering into dust, dissolving into the cosmic ether. The organization, their power source cut off, their manipulations undone, recoiled, their faces now etched with confusion and despair before they vanished into the retreating shadows. The immediate threat was averted. The conjunction faded, leaving behind a sky once again familiar yet imbued with a newfound subtle magic. The world, unknowingly, had been spared a cataclysm, even as it grappled with the implications of occult astrology's verifiable power, now undeniable by even the most cynical scientist. Ilara and Kyle, forever changed by their journey, stood together, the artifact now glowing softly between them, a beacon of their unity. They dedicated their lives to understanding the true nature of fate and free will, bridging the chasm between science and spirituality, their combined knowledge a testament to a new era of understanding. Their relationship, forged in crisis and bound by destiny, blossomed into a profound love, symbolizing the merging of their two worlds. As they studied the artifact, its light pulsed, revealing not an end, but a new beginning. Etched onto its surface, beneath the ancient symbols, were constellations unknown, galaxies yet to be discovered. It hinted at other fated encounters, other cosmic mysteries waiting among the stars, leaving the audience with a sense of boundless wonder and infinite possibility. Their story just one thread in a tapestry far grander than they could ever imagine.